I'm a steamroll this next bit, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, my name is Christian. I live in Chicago right now. It is what it is. Yeah, Audiofeed's cool. It's very nice to see that people are still choosing to show up to things, because there's a lot of ebb and flow in this world. And so whoever is keeping in it, I'm very grateful. And whoever's not, you know, it's you can't shame people into doing what you think they should be doing with their lives. There's plenty of people not here right now doing exactly what they're supposed to be, but you don't need to know that. Anyways, I'm glad we're here. Everyone for the next 4 days is going to say that line, so I'm so sorry. But
we're all stealing it from you.
Yeah, thank you. So, I don't know if anyone in here has ever felt this, and please allow me to speak kind of maybe out of some ignorance on some topics for a second, but I don't know if anyone in here has ever felt this idea where maybe some people have made you convinced that the life you had isn't ideal for you, and they know they have a better place, and if you just come with them, they'll show it to you, and you know, they might be right. I think there's things we got to realize about what's going on in the world and us, and it's not easy to realize those things when we're in them, and it's nice to have people prodding us, friends around us that care to get out of those things. But I started to notice with some people around me and me sometimes, and this thing where you invite someone out of something and into a different thing, and you go, no, it's going to be great if you just come with me. I know exactly what you need. But then I started to notice a lot of people, once we get the people to where we want them to be, they're like, so you're gonna like show me around, right? And then we go, no, that's not my job. I'm done at 5. And so someone should be in. Maybe Ricky works tonight. Just figure it out with him. And what happens is, I think sometimes we lose people in this foster care system of relationship or I don't know. Yeah. And I think we're sometimes a little overzealous, and we commit a lot and we promise a lot to people. And one, I don't know that what the good they need are all these lofty things we have to promise. And two, if we can't give it to them, we need to stop promising that we will give it to them. I'm willing to crunch the numbers with you, but I can't act like I'm able to write all the checks. But I think together we can learn how the checks are written and trust that process and stop acting like we're the ones making the process. We need to be better at being there for each other and admitting when we're not going to be able to, so that no one is shocked when we don't show up anymore. Rhetoric rarely yields return. It doesn't quell or keep the burn, and it never heals the earth. All of our platitudes, they don't prepare us for childbirth. They don't prepare you for divorce. Never really ready you for the feeling of being broken down to the most intrinsic of levels. Never for you to feel like who you are is ending, or even the mounting fear that you may one day come to that you are continuing the same as you have always been. We try to find sayings to describe the phenomenon and patterns to define it, instead of admitting that it's really probably neither. It's not so easily definable, because that wouldn't be an interesting enough talking point. And sometimes we want so badly to talk about something that we create speeches for the speeches, and then find ourselves so far removed from the source material that we can't seem to recall what we're even talking about as people. We tend to talk around so much. One may even say dance, but more in how we speak about our feet, as if it means we do. In as much as we hear dancing and romanticize it to be fun, as if it's about being with others for us, when so often more it seems that it's about avoiding collision, like trying to slip through a wall with this body, with this mouth, seemingly no point, and so all of our energy dispersing us out. There's a lot of conflict that comes when the trajectory of two separate bodies of atoms have no respect for each other. And far be it from us to expect a wall to consider anything, let alone its effect on you. The things of this world are effectual. Do not let us forget it. And still, a warning about the currents, never made to have you avoid the waters. When you grow up surrounded by it, you learn. It doesn't matter how far you run in the other direction to get away, you will eventually find yourself back in it still. The middle ground, it's lukewarm. When you begin to say no to the trips, no laughter with your friends, no food with your grandfather in the parking lot. And when the inevitable happens and we do end up there again, it will make us so bitter, becoming convinced that the discomfort we've gained in the absence of these things is proof itself against them. After we forget the feeling of the shore, and all you can focus on now is how the sand seems to have gotten so coarse, it gets everywhere, effectual. To spend your time hating it is to lose so much in the movement of the current. Dump your shoes out. Sometimes you just gotta get in. Sometimes you just gotta get in. Yeah. After you forget the feeling of shore, you go to the sand. It gets everywhere. It's effectual. Yeah, this is why you don't do new stuff. Dump your shoes out and shake your feet off. I have ruined, but I'd rather be humble and wrong than forget. I've ruined so much in attempting to avoid having it all be ruined. Sometimes you just gotta get in, and so I find myself breaking water like bread, and I think about my friends Beagle and Anxiety and all of the people around us who don't wake up next to each other anymore, and the ones who do. And I don't think that time stretches itself like skin, how it moves, and some combination of me through it and it around me, and her retriever, her husband, got her sometime after Lloyd died, splashes water onto my pants, and moth and rust from all of the salt in the air eating up the metal is not a good enough excuse to avoid getting in the truck, and nothing comes by dishonesty or playing it safe. Get in the lake. Maybe this act in and of itself has a lot to say about being moved. No need to talk so much about it. Maybe let's not talk about outstretched limbs as a hidden way to keep things at arm's length. There's nothing to protect, and whatever there is does not require you to do so. All that there is to worry over goes away. Islands, larger than we can scope the importance of for ourselves, are formed and worn down over month after month, years, thousands of years, millions, and every piece of sand is counted. Every image holding so much depth, every vessel is a picture, effectual, with no reference to itself. When intentions are clear, we are coarse, Stay it regardless. The water comes, and it comes with a pulse. Sometimes all you do is lay in bed at night quiet, wondering about the residual feeling of how it moves you. Know that it is not chaotic, maybe undefinable by its patterns, but describable in its ways. It is definite. When you jump, stretch yourself out of some mixture of joy and necessity. It moves around you, or you through it, maybe really just some mixture of both, maybe inconsequentially so, but intrinsic. Just know that if all we do is stand and talk about it as if it is not barreling towards us presently, we will always only get a mouthful of salt.